So we have a little stretching and core workout today. We spent the weekend in the car and sleeping in hotel beds that were not very comfortable, so my back is a little angry. So today I'm just gonna go through exercises that I like to reposition to find my abs, to turn off my back, to get a little rotation so I can decrease the stress on my low back. So we're gonna start by, Elsie, come here. Just some good stretching. I'm gonna go down into, okay, go to bed. Go to bed. I get down here and I really want to think of pushing through my shoulders, not getting my neck tight, but pushing that chest bone straight up so you feel a little stretch between your shoulder blades, and then doing a tuck so that you feel that low back stretch. And you're going to try to stay in that flex position as you breathe. Really turning off that whole back, feeling a stretch in your whole back. Your neck is relaxed. As you exhale, draw those ribs into your abdomen so you can feel your abs contract. Think breathing out into the rib cage sideways so that you don't activate that back by bringing those ribs forward as you inhale. So breathe out. Exhale, really flex that whole spine. Now I'm going to reach with that right hand to the left and open up my right rib cage. Relax that neck, keep your tuck. Good inhale, full exhale. What are you doing? Okay, stretch with the left hand to the right. Keep that neck relaxed. What'd you do with those? Hi. And one more time to the right. Elsie. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna get some rotation. I want you to lay on your left side, stack your hips, stack your shoulders. Your hips are not gonna move. And when you rotate, you're gonna think rotating your rib cage, not rotating through the shoulder itself. So you're gonna inhale. Exhale, try to keep it there. Every exhale, you're trying to drop that right shoulder closer to the floor, opening up your right chest and your right rib cage. Keep those left abs on to keep the left ribs and pelvis secured. This one feels good. Again, you're trying to breathe out into your rib cage, not in the front of your rib cage. And you don't want to feel this one right in your shoulder itself, because you don't want to stretch the shoulder capsule. You want to stretch through the chest. So you're thinking of rotating those ribs and stretching through the chest. All right, so now we're gonna do a few, we're gonna open up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale between the shoulder blades. Exhale, open up. Inhale through the shoulder blades. Exhale, open up. Keep your tuck so your low back is not rotating. Good. All right, so we can do that on the other side, and I want you to compare which side is tighter. How far can you get your shoulder down? Where do you feel the most stretch, left or right, in that rib cage and in that chest? So you can compare sides, and then you can work on what is more tight. So you're gonna inhale, exhale, and hold it there for a few. All right, let's rotate. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. All right, so let's find some abs. That means we're gonna go after those low, deep transverse abs. So you're thinking of your pubic bone rolling towards your ribs, and you should feel that low contraction. It's not superficial, it's not your six-pack rectus abs. Those should stay relatively quiet. I want you to dig deep into those low transverse abs while you get those ribs down to get your obliques on. So we're taking that abdomen and we're trying to get the front equaled out with the back. So when your back is tight, you tend to lose those abs. It's a neurological thing. They're opposing muscle groups. So if you're real tight in one, you're going to be elongated in the opposite. So we're going to start here. And I just want you to feel your spine. Pay attention to each vertebrae. See what kind of pressure you have on each vertebrae. Where's your rib cage at? Is it really sticking up? Is it laying flatter? Are your shoulders coming up and in? So the goal is to put pressure through your heels as you roll that pelvis backward. Think of your pubic bone coming towards you. Low, deep abs on. Ribs are down. So you're exhaling all that air out. Your obliques should be pulling those ribs down, and I want you to feel every vertebrae equally. So then you're gonna let those shoulders drop. When most people have a tendency to, when those ribs go down, they bring those shoulders up with because of tight pecs. But we want those ribs down and then be able to get those shoulder blades flat on the floor. So you can either put your hands here, you can open up your hands for a little bit more chest stretch. And I just want you to breathe. So the belly and chest rise and fall together to the same amplitude. So you're inhaling, exhaling, trying to get all the air out and leaving those shoulders flat. You're driving that sternum down. Hey, come here, Owie. So look for that chest stretch as you bring those ribs in for abs. A little bit of hamstring with your weight through your heels.
No,
hamstrings
help
help roll your pelvis back. So I'm doing a little bit more active breathing where I'm trying to keep those lower ribs down so I can fill that upper chest and get more of a pec stretch.
No.
Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit more ab strengthening. So we just shut off our back a little bit, got some rotation, worked on the breathing mechanics. So this one can be challenging if you're really tight in your hip flexors and low back. So if you have something, sit down. So if you have something to hold, even if it's like a resistance band or a TRX or a rope or a belt or something to put around something and hold and support yourself, that'll help. I want you to think of every vertebrae independently rocking to the floor. So if your back is really tight, it's going to feel like your whole back hits the floor at the same time, your whole low back. You want to work on really engaging those low transverse abs in your pelvis to control every vertebrae rolling down. Elsie. Okay, so you're inhaling into that upper back, exhaling. Don't grip with your hip flexors. If you need to put your feet under something to support yourself, and you're going to try to find the very lowest, L5, rock down even more, and then come down. Okay, I usually prop myself up because if you do a sit-up, you're going to engage those hip flexors, which I like to keep off because they make my back really angry. So you're breathing into your upper back and then rolling. Thinking of rocking that spine. If you have control, you can try to roll back up. It's going to be a lot harder than going down though. So let's do a couple more times. Another tip is to put something like a ball or a pillow between your knees so you can engage those inner thighs to help your pelvis stabilize. Think of those lowest vertebrae are probably going to be the hardest to engage or to rock down. All right, so that's a good one for mobility. All right, so now we're gonna do some all four stabilization. So I want you to think of getting a neutral spine. So we're not gonna over flex. We're gonna try to push through those shoulders, so move that rib cage up on your shoulder blades and do a little tuck, but don't engage the middle back and get a big hump like that. Elsie, come here. Okay, so you wanna do a little tuck on your pelvis so you feel those low, deep abs, and then push through your shoulder blades to open up your upper back. Trying to get those ribs in on your exhale. And you're gonna first start by just raising your right hand. If you can stabilize there and lift that right hand without shifting or turning or rotating or extending your back or letting your core move out at all, then lift up your left knee. If you can do that with a steady core, keeping that rib cage up on that left shoulder blade and that right hip over the right knee, then you can start extending without extending your low back. So you want to keep those low abs on, bring that knee up as much as you can for glute and hamstring on the left. You should feel a lot of core, a lot of left core. No neck, so keep that right shoulder blade down, like sliding down towards your hips. And I want you to think of lifting that left leg bone, femur, into the socket. So you get some left inner thigh. Reminding yourself to really push up through that left shoulder. Ooh, okay. So you should feel that left shoulder, you should feel a lot of left abs, left glute and hamstring, low deep abs, and now we're gonna do that on the other side. So do your tuck, really push through the shoulder blades, feel those abs. You're gonna lift the left arm, keeping that, that translation of the rib cage on that right shoulder blade. If that's easy, pick up the right knee, keeping the left hip straight over the left knee. Those low abs are engaged. On the exhale, those ribs go in. You should not feel your low back or your neck. And then you're gonna bring that knee up without letting that low back engage. You're reaching with your left hand. Lots of core. Good breathing. When you inhale, you're expanding to the sides of your rib cage and in your low back right here. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do one more that gets a little bit more obliques. I mean, that got obliques, but it was more stabilization. This one is more movement. This is a postural restoration exercise. Okay, now let that back flatten. You're doing your tuck, so the points of your pelvis aren't sticking up like this, but rolling back so that your low back, you feel every vertebrae on the floor. Get those ribs down. You're gonna go in to like a cross reach, feeling that left hamstring. Hold it for a few breaths and switch. If you want to go faster, you can. You should feel a lot of hamstring pulling on your sit bone. Low deep abs pulling that pelvis back. All right, so you should feel abs, hamstrings, that back should be a little bit more relaxed. You're focusing on your breathing, so always think of that rib cage expanding 360 degrees when you inhale, and then compressing and coming together 360. So you want a nice open inhale and compressed exhale. That'll get your abs engaged and keep everything balanced so that you're not breathing forward with an extended back and doing this kind of motion. So that's going to make your back tight over time. So I hope you enjoyed this. Stay balanced. Say bye. Bye.